Oh, good morning. Hey, this is Paul Romero with the Swiss Gold Global Independent Business Owner Network Marketing Training number 126 on this beautiful new update, um, the 20th of April. New update, 20th of April. And as many of you might recognize this backdrop right here, yes, I'm back in sunny, warm Phoenix, AZ. Just in time, I think, for the hot season to start lighten up here. But it's gorgeous right now. The weather's been great. Yesterday was I got here and it was nice and toasty warm, but not too hot. Enjoyed the heck out of it. So here we are on New Up Day, which is our Own Your Life Plan Day. That's right, the 45-second presentation book, which is your network marketing training manual, and that doesn't just go for Swiss Gold Global. If you're in network marketing, you should be studying this book, and this is how you should be building your organization. Otherwise, you are basically setting yourself up pretty much probably to be a salesman and not building a network marketing organization. Two huge big differences there that can make a huge big difference to your future and what you are doing, 3, 4, 5, 10 years from now, opposed to what you're doing now. And I will leave it at that. You can figure it out from there by reading the book. Today we're on chapter 15. Last week we covered the difference between a weekly training session, a business training session, and a weekly opportunity meeting. Huge. Huge, huge, huge. I'll guarantee you, if you're in some kind of a network marketing organization, you probably have opportunity meetings all the time, whether they're weekly or who knows how often. And that's how you bring in a lot of different people to your organization. Guess what? Not saying it's wrong, but there's another way, a better way actually, to bring people into your organization and build a big organization that creates a lot of future passive income for yourself. So today we're talking about chapter 15 is important phrases and handling objections. So important phrases, obviously just a few things that you could say to a prospect, someone that you're talking to about joining your organization, some things that you could say to them during the conversation that are, very important little mind triggers, so to speak. So we're going to go here and look at, as it starts out here, it says, as I pointed out in chapter Napkin Presentation number 4, your business should look like a large building under construction in such that, you can't see anything until it starts rising out of the ground. But you're building a nice, strong foundation down there in the beginning. And so you're not seeing, this massive income. You're seeing something start, but you're not seeing, anything substantial until you have laid this foundation, right? So some common questions and objections. You'll find that sometimes, you might have to read a person's body language or their expression, before figuring out the right thing to say. And you might even find yourself in some of these situations here. So talking to non-sales types, okay, these are people that have never been in sales, just your average, most of the people out there that you're going to end up talking to, within, like, especially if you're talking to friends and family, obviously, probably most of them haven't been in sales. And so they have preconceived notions about what sales is. And that's where some of these questions will spring from. Because, whether we like it or not, deeply rooted within inside all of us is pretty much a deep-rooted hatred for sales and salespeople. And because of that, we don't ever want to, we can never see ourselves as such. We don't want to ever become salespeople. And quite frankly, if you want to be successful in this world, that in and of itself is a mindset really that you need to work on changing. You need to work on wanting to become a salesperson and wanting to be proud of being a salesperson, being able to shout to the world and say to anybody, hey man, I'm in sales and I make sales, and that's what I do. Because you know what? When it comes down to it, even at your job, you're in sales. You're selling yourself every day. You are in sales in life, whether you want to believe it or not. And like I said, the number one thing that you have to sell is yourself. So the better you can get at sales and selling yourself, the farther you're going to go in this world at anything you do. So that's a real misconceived notion about, having sales be so bad and having being sold all the time. But anyway, so when you're talking to a non-sales type person, and they're kind of a little, on the fence about the whole thing, they're going to be thinking about sales and having to make sales and all that stuff. I could have sworn I read something in here that I wanted to say. I just read this like 2 minutes ago, and there's something missing that I thought Oh, it's in the next piece. Sorry. Okay, so talking to non-salespeople, preconceived notions, yada yada. Here's a great little phrase that you can interject into the conversation. I can see you have objections about getting involved. I want you to understand that if you say this, if you do say yes to this, that I will be the person who's training you. Okay, and also understand that if I didn't think you could do this right now, we'd be talking about something else. Okay, so I mean, it's pretty simple here. I would not be wasting my time with you talking about this potential opportunity, knowing that I'm going to be the person that's going to be training you on how to do this and how to build your organization, if I didn't think you could do it. So the question that you should be asking yourself at this time too is, why would I want to talk to somebody? Why would I want to talk somebody into getting involved in my business if I didn't think they could do it, right? And you may want to also mention, hey, listen, once you've been in this business for 30 days and just, a small piece of what I know about the business, you'll understand why I'm so excited about your opportunity to get in on this. Okay? So that's pretty powerful. Once you've been in this for just 30 days and you've learned just a little bit of what I already know about this business, you're going to understand why right now I'm so excited about your opportunity to get in on this business. Right? That's pretty powerful too. Both of those are really powerful. They really shift the mindset of the person you're talking to from, I can't do this, this is not me, blah, 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 to, wait a second. Here, I've got someone who's believing in me, who thinks that I can do this. Maybe I can do this. And they're saying that, I'm going to come to see that they're right within 30 days. Okay, maybe I should give it a try. You know what I mean? These are two pretty powerful statements right here. So now let's take a look at some typical questions that prospects may ask, or just might be thinking without even asking, right? Do I have to sell? There it is. There's the biggie. Do I have to sell? I'm not a salesman. I don't want to be in salesman. I don't want to be in sales. I hate sales. I hate salespeople. I can never sell to anybody. I'm just not that kind of a person. If this has anything to do with selling stuff, I'm out. Forget it. I'm not interested. Blah, 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 blah. Right? Sales, suck, suck, suck. Not me, not me, not me. I'm out. That's the biggie right there. That's where people are at. So, I mean, obviously, the most straightforward answer is always no. Do I have to sell? No, you don't have to sell. The products and services, the products will move in the process of you building your business and sharing with your, I'm sorry, The products will move in the process of building your business and sharing them with your friends. Okay? You ever seen one of those, crystal cookware, fire alarms, vacuum cleaners, one of those presentations where, people are telling you all about the product and all of this stuff? Well, that's what, 95% of the non-sales type people, think that selling is all about. Okay? Is standing up and doing presentations, whether it's one-on-one or to a group of people. You have to present your product and service and all this other stuff to these people. Or, and they define selling really as, calling on strangers for one, which they don't want to, Mom always said, don't talk to strangers. So I don't want to talk to strangers. So that's why I could never be in sales, because I'm not supposed to talk to strangers. So define selling, so they define selling as calling on strangers, trying to talk them into buying something that they probably neither need or want. And that's powerful. Why would anybody want to do that? Why would I want to go call on people I don't know and try to talk them into buying something that they probably don't need or even want? That just sounds like it sucks. And quite frankly, if that's what sales really was, it would suck. And that's the definition of what sales is to a lot of people, because, they have this preconceived notion of like the door-to-door, the Fuller Brush man, the door-to-door salesman that way, the shoe salesman's guy at the Foot Locker. You got to walk up to everybody that walks into the store. Hey, can I help you? Blah blah blah. How do we do it? Let's get you some. You know what I mean? You got to talk to strangers, and that's a huge kind of an internal fear that's ingrained into us, because, like I said, we've grown up all our lives being slapped around and slapped upside the head and having it pounded into us to never talk to strangers. Don't talk to strangers. Well, if you're in sales, who are you going to sell to? You got to sell to people you don't know. What are people you don't know? They're strangers. Oh my God, how am I going to sell? So that's where this big loop of problematic thinking on sales comes into play, is by the fact of our own preconceived knowledge of some stranger who comes to us. See, that's the other side of it, is when we're being sold, it's by strangers. Strangers are coming to us and talking to us. And if I shouldn't be talking to strangers, well, then gosh darn it, strangers shouldn't be talking to me either. And so, and then not only are they talking to me, they're trying to get me to buy something, and I don't even want that thing right over there. I came into the shoe store here, looking for some socks, and they're trying to sell me shoes, to go with my socks, or they're trying to sell me socks. I came in here for shoes, and they're trying to sell me socks. I don't want socks. I just need shoes. So the upsell is something that's always turned everybody off too, because people do love to buy. There's no question about that, but they hate to be sold. So, and that's a key sales, an educational piece that it's not in this book per se, but something that is a study of sales, and not necessarily selling people, but persuading people to get they themselves to come to the understanding and thinking that, yes, I do need that. But see, you can't tell them that. You can't force that upon them. You can't make them say that. You can't make them think that. All you can do really is present them with enough information that the light's going to go on in their own head, and they themselves are going to make that decision, that sudden switch. They're going to flip the switch, and suddenly inside their own head, they're going to go, I really do need this. Yeah, I really am short on socks. You know, a dog ate my last pair, or whatever it is, you know. So without really, forcing people like, oh, you really should get a pair of socks to go with these. Look at the color of these shoes with these socks right here, on your legs right there, they would just look so good. Obviously, I'm selling to a woman here. Guy wouldn't really give a crap about how the socks look with his legs, but you know what I mean? You've got really nice legs here. The color of these socks with these shoes would just really stand out the tone of your legs. Boy, they would look really, I mean, that's selling. But if you just get to the point of saying, hey, listen, you know, I'm not sure how you're set up on socks, but I was just noticing that the color of these socks right here, something that would go probably really well with these shoes here, and the skin tone of your leg and the physique of your leg there. Do you have anything like these at home? Oh, do you have anything in this color at home? Boom. All right. You didn't sell them on it. You just said, hey, do you have any socks of this color at home? Well, actually, no, I don't. You know what I mean? These socks right here, I think, would really stand out on you. Do you already have any of this color at home? Oh, well, no, I don't. You know what? I should get a pair. I don't have that color. I didn't tell them to buy the socks. I just pointed out that they don't have this color at home. You kind of see the difference there? That's kind of where sales is really, successful sales is really more about just, sort of persuasion of getting people to understand in their own mind why they need what it is that you're showing to them. They don't want to be forced. They don't want to have it forced upon them. They don't want you to tell them why they need it. They don't want you solving their problems. What they want, well, they don't even know what they want. But what you want to do is just feed them some information that's going to trigger in their own mind the key reason why they need what you're offering. That's the way to sell. So that's a whole other little course of study here. Like I said, a little bit outside this book, a little bit advanced, but once you start learning a little bit of that to go along with what's in this book, because this book here is so simple, and what we are doing, we're not selling, we're just sharing with what we're doing with other people, and you yourself don't have to do any sort of selling or anything like that, which is all part of the way the system is built here, in such that all you have to do is just get them interested in the idea, and then you bring them before the people in your upline, myself, John, who just happened to show up thanks to Cox. Wait a minute, maybe internet, that is Cox Internet. So you don't have to do any of that real hard selling or anything like that. You don't have to do any presentation or anything like that. You just bring up the idea of what you're doing, get somebody see a twinkle in their eye of somebody's minuscule interest, and then invite them to something further above you, where we actually come in and do all the work for you. That's how network marketing is supposed to be built and sponsored. And hey, John, you showed up just in time to say good morning and give us the prayer and go home.
Perfect timing. Yeah, I had a little internet issue, called the provider. They got it fixed pretty darn quickly, in my opinion. Only took them 15 minutes, but their offices didn't open till 8 o'clock this morning, so I couldn't fix it until when the hangout was starting. But right. I caught a little piece of what you're saying there, and I'm gathering that you discussed the fact that this isn't really about selling. It's about sharing, and that those skills of selling and some of the more advanced stuff, although not covered in this book, is stuff that you're going to learn and pick up along the way. And, my feeling is that just to reiterate what Paul kind of caught Paul saying there, and then I'll toss it back over to you here, Paul, to finish out your thought, is that, part of the magic or the great things about network marketing is the earn while you learn, and your upline is there to teach you and guide you, and all you need to do is go out there, introduce the idea or the product or the opportunity, kind of, set the stage, so to speak, to have your upline come in and close the deal, so to speak, if you will. And that's what Paul or I are here to do, is when you have a prospect and you've introduced them to Swiss Gold Global, it's up to me and Paul to kind of take it from there, and you bring your people to us and let us get them on board and signed up.
Yeah, kind of the same thing we do with our real estate business. Have somebody go out and meet the seller, make an initial contact, and then just sort of pass it over to us to step in and make the close. It's almost the same exact thing. Hey, we're network marketing in real estate. Look at that. But hey, so that's just the very tip of the iceberg of chapter 15. We're probably going to be on this for a little while because obviously, there's a number of questions. There's another of objective questions that you might run into in this chapter here, and that was just basically, I just covered a nice little couple of phrases there that could twist the thinking of somebody who's kind of on the fence, a non-sales type person who's on the fence that you're introducing this to, as to why you're even introducing it to, that I wouldn't be wasting my time if I didn't really think you could do this, and if I didn't really think that my training of you wasn't going to be successful, we'd be talking about something else here. So a couple of very cool, awesome little phrases there to learn. And then obviously just the very first question, the biggest one, do I have to sell? And, the big, I covered pretty much the big fear of why people don't want to sell, and that being, the fact that we've been told all our lives not to talk to strangers, and selling is all about, either talking to strangers or being talked to by strangers. So, oh my God, I hate selling. I got strangers coming over here and talking to me, and I shouldn't be talking to strangers. Oh, Mom, help me. So anyway, that's it for today. We'll be back here next week on New Op Day as well, same time, same, hopefully better internet, and we'll be moving into some of the next questions, which, there's definitely some objective questions in here that you're going to hear along the way. And we're just going to kind of cover some of the, just like we did today, some of the psychology of it and how it's really, so simple to persuade these questions and rebut these questions. I didn't even finish the whole thing there on this. Basically, I just said that it's always no. But we'll get back into it. Anyway, we got to get out of here today. Time's up. So we'll see you back here next week on New Update for more objections and handling your prospects to get them on board. And with that, O universe, I ask not for more riches, but for more wisdom with which to make better use of the riches given to me at birth, consisting of the power to control and direct my own mind to whatever end I might desire.